Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Paskatya Desatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Brahmadakacharya Asadhara Satushi Shiman. His Divine Grace Shalasi Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Raj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Haribas Slava Zabrani Bhaktam Slava Shri Guru Shri Gurangi Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Tenamane Namaste Saraswatam Deve Gauravani Vicharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskadyade Satarne Om Magyanatimanandasya Gananjana Salakaya Taksurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shigara Shri Uta Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Vrajana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shiva Sakans Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishubhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakapa Tribhyascha Kripa Sindhuvyevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranitananda Shadvaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare-rama, Hare-rama, Rama-rama, Hare-Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 1. Observing the armies on the battlefield Kurukshetra, text number 39. Kula shaye pranashanti. Kula dharma sanatana. Dharme nashte kulam kritsnam. Adharmo vivavat yuta. Kula shaye pranashanti. Kula dharma sanatana. Dharme nashte kulam kritsnam. Adharmo vivat yuta. Shanti. Sanatana. Kula kritsnam. Adharma vivat yuta. Kula shaye pranashanti. Vivat yuta. Kula shaye pranashanti. Kula dharma sanatana. Dharme nashte kulam kritsnam. Adharmo vivat yuta. Kula shaye, in destroying the family. Pranashanti, become vanquished. Kula dharma, the family traditions. Sanatana, eternal. Dharma, religion. Nashte, being destroyed. Kulam, family. Kritsnam, whole. Adharma, irreligion. Abhivati, transforms. Uta, it is said. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion. Purport. In the system of Varnashram institution, there are many principles of religious traditions to help members of the family grow properly and attain spiritual values. The elder members are responsible for such purifying processes in the family, beginning from birth to death. By the death of the elderly members, such family traditions of purification may stop, and the remaining younger family members may develop irreligious habits and thereby lose their chance for spiritual salvation. Therefore, for no purpose should the elder members of the family be slain. Text 40. Adharma vivat yuta pradushanti kulastriya strishu dustasi varshneya jayante varna sankara. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny. Purport. Good population in human society is the basic principle for peace, prosperity, and spiritual progress in life. The Varnashram religions' principles were so designed that the good population would prevail in society for the general spiritual progress of state and community. Such population depends on the chastity and faithfulness of its womanhood. As children are very prone to be misled, women are similarly very prone to degradation. Therefore, both children and women require protection by the elderly members of the family. By being engaged in various religious practices, women will not be misled into adultery. According to Chanakya Pandit, women are generally not very intelligent and therefore not trustworthy. So the different family traditions of religious activities should always engage them. Thus their chastity and devotion will give birth to a good population eligible for participating in the Varnashram system. On the failure of such Varnashram dharma, naturally the women become free to act and mix with men, and thus adultery is indulged in at the risk of unwanted population. Irresponsible men also provoke adultery in society, and thus unwanted children flood the human race, the risk of war and pestilence. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutaya Srimate Bhakti-vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskadyade Satarne. I don't think this is what most people are talking about as a problem of modern society, that the ladies are not following religious principles, or the men are not following religious principles either. Mostly they say that there should be no religious principles. It's the only thing they agree with in the Bhagavad Gita. Sarva Dharma Parityajya, give up all varieties of religion. That's the only thing they agree with. But actually it's a science, but of course those who are not familiar with what real science is can never appreciate science, actual science. Science means something that's true for all time, everywhere. That's actually science. Now, from the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has said that the body changes. So that's everyone's body is changing, everywhere, all time. But the souls within the bodies, they don't change. So that's an eternal principle, undeniable. So that's science. Now here's another kind of science, that religion, the rules and regulations, which are based upon eternal principles, their aim is that people will control their mind and senses. That will be gone over in Bhagavad Gita repeatedly. Tri vidam narakasedam dvaram nashitam atmanaha kama krodha tatalo vas tasmad etam trayam chajet. There are three gates leading to hell, namely lust, anger, and greed. Every sane person should become free from these three gates because they lead to the degradation of the self, or the soul. Now, there's a reason why we ourselves, as spiritual beings, are not aware of our spiritual identity. Because instead of following Krishna's directions, and those directions are there, as Krishna says, Ye shastra vidim utsrija vartate kamakarata sasadim avapnoti nasukam na param gatim. One should know what is to be done, was yakshastra vidim utsrija. Those who give up scripture and work whimsically according to their own mental concoction, their own whims, they obtain neither peace nor happiness nor the supreme destination. So Shastra. Now, tasmat shastram pramanam te karya karya vyastito gyatva shastram pramanokta karma kartum viharasi. One should know what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of scripture or shastra. Knowing such regulations, one should act so that they can gradually become purified. So Shastra is very simple. Shastra is a means of regulating the senses. that according to the modes of material nature one finds himself under, then Shastra is simply meant to regulate those activities of mainly eating, sleeping, mating, defending, which are the manifestations of the pushings or the demands of the senses. Vacha vegam, krodasa vegam, manasa kroda vegam, jiva vegam, udarapasta vegam, etan vegam, yo vishaheta dira, sarvam apimam pratibhim sashishat. That one can control the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the urges of the tongue, belly, and genital. Vacha vegam, manasa, the urges of the mind. He can make disciples all over the world. So there are actually pushings of the senses, headed by lust, and then anger is also included there, and greed. But they push our words, our minds, vacha vega manas kroda, our anger, jiva, our tongue, etan vegam yovishahetadira, our belly and our genitals, they're being pushed. And the more if we serve them with some regulation, then the result is that we might be able to think about Krishna, in spite of the pushings of the senses. But when we're unconscious of Krishna, then we're simply under the control of the senses. And the result is that one becomes more and more covered over by the illusory energy. As one acts in passion, one falls into ignorance. As one acts in ignorance, one falls deeper into ignorance. That's how the material nature works. Kamana sukritasyahu satukam nirmalam palam rajasastu palam dugam agana tamasa param satpram sanjayate jnanam raja loba evacha pramada moha tamaso bhavato jnana evacha. If one acts in the mode of goodness, then he becomes purified. Satpam sanjayate. He gains knowledge. Satpam sanjayate jnana rajaso loba evacha. If one acts in passion, he becomes greedy. And if he acts in ignorance, pramado moha tamaso. He becomes, pramado means madness, moha illusion, pramada moha tamaso, bhavato jnana, and one's intelligence is covered. Therefore, it's kamana sukritasyahu. I just said that if one acts in the mode of goodness, karmana sukritas satukam nirmalam phalam, he becomes purified of material misconceptions. And if he acts in the mode of passion, rajaso bhavato dukam, he becomes unhappy. And if he acts in ignorance, he simply becomes crazy. So people don't know that. They act in goodness, well, very little goodness. They don't know what's good. They don't know how to, all they know is what they've been taught. Namely, everyone is, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, everyone is a Shudra in Kali Yuga, practically speaking. They're born as Shudras, lamenting, hankering, lamenting. It's all people know in Kali Yuga. It's hankering and advertisement, education, the leadership is all meant to produce lusty people, hankering for things. Give them a credit card, they buy something, and they go into debt, and they spend the rest of their existence just working to pay off their debts, to buy things that they throw away after 6 months or a year. Every year there has to be some new phone, new computer, new program on television, new movie, so that people just work like a dog. They can spend money so they can eat like a hog, sleep like a bear, have sex like a pigeon, and imagine they're a tiger. They can defend themselves like a tiger. And that's called human civilization. And the driving force is economic development, the GOP. So everyone's encouraged to work harder and harder, to get less and less. And they think they're making progress. They think when they went from the iPhone, whatever it was, the beginning, to iPhone 15 now, that was progress. And they advertise, if you buy this phone, then you can play video games better. You can kill the dragon in the dungeon quicker. And people are happy that now I've killed yesterday I killed the dragon. It took me 5 seconds to kill the dragon, and today I did it 4 and 4. So therefore I'm making progress. Yesterday my Bitcoin was worth 30,000 euros, and today it's worth 32,000 euros. So I'm making progress. Never mind, I'm still going to have to go through old age, disease, and death, and then take birth again in some species of life. So what's the progress? What's being accomplished? But because, basically speaking, after centuries of degrading people, acting under the influence of Kali, all they're producing is varna sankara. Children are becoming more and more degraded. They're, as it says, tatas tanudinam dharma, sattvam socham daya shama, balena kalya rajan, nakshatra yayor balam smriti. Tatas tanudinam dharma. Day after day, you won't find that in Bhagavad Gita. It's srimad-bhagavatam, 12th canto. Day after day, tatas chanudinam dharma. Dharma is being decreased. And how do we know that dharma is being decreased? Tatas chanudinam dharma. Sattvam, truthfulness is going down. Everyone's existence is based on a lie. And on top of that, they keep on taking lies on top of lies. Every politician, all they do is lie. And people are so foolish they believe them. They make so many promises. That's all they do is lie. They were saying that by the year 1980, there would be no more ice in Antarctica. Therefore, they were demanding billions of dollars so that they could avoid climate change. Carbon tax, whatever. But it was all a lie. Nothing happened. Every time if we told such lies, no one would take us seriously. Because people don't take most intelligent people don't take the politicians seriously. But most people aren't intelligent. Generally, they want to choose between one person who's a liar and someone else who's a bigger liar. Because they don't know what the truth is, nor do they want to find out what the truth is. Because if they found out what the truth is, they'd realize they're living a lie. But they like the lie they're living. Because if they live there, if the reality is that there's a God and they're reliable to their activities, they're responsible for what they're doing, then they can't whimsically serve their minds. They can't eat the extra potato chip. Their mind is demanding, eat that chip. No, I'm sick. No, eat that chip. And when they eat the chip, then the mind, they don't want to feel guilty. They don't want to feel responsible for what they do. They blame their dog for why they ate the extra chip. It was his fault. So, and someone comes along and says, no, you're responsible. You've got to suffer the karma for what you did. You're suffering it now. People don't want to hear that. They want to imagine that they're just free to do whatever whimsical thing they want, and there won't be any reaction. They think they can go on killing animals and killing their children and start wars and all kinds of, and everything will be all right because they're good people. They just have to vote for the right person, and he'll take care of everything. Or as Prabhupada once said, the people came in India to the politicians and said, "There's no food, we're starving." And the politician said, "Don't worry, tomorrow there'll be another channel on television." We're adding another channel, things will be all right. So because their activities were sinful, therefore they have sinful children, uneducated, and we can see that, generally speaking, people just send children to the slaughterhouse. They get educated in all kinds of strange ways. As we can see in America, children are encouraged when they're 5 years old to change their gender. They ask a 5-year-old child, "Are you sure you want to be a girl? Wouldn't you like to be a boy?" "What's a boy?" "I don't even know what a boy is." No, think about it. Don't tell your parents, "I think tomorrow when you come here, we'll operate on you and you can be a boy." And the parents say, "Well, the leaders think it's a good idea. Maybe it's good that she becomes he." Or maybe if she doesn't like it, then they can change her back to a she again. And that's how degraded it's become. Even you find these big educators with these big titles, all these PhDs, they'll go before the Congress and they argue that why can't a man get pregnant? Everyone has a right to get pregnant. Why couldn't a man get pregnant? You know why? What? Did you raise your hand or something?
Yeah, no, I wanted to add. There was one video about this gender and now they're not identifying themselves just he or she, but now they started identifying themselves as animals.
As what?
As animals.
Oh, animals, of course.
One lady, she was saying that she's a wolf, and the one who was taking interview, he said, "Can you speak your language?" She's like, "No, I'm not comfortable doing that." But then later on, there was a clip of her, and she was like, "Ooh."
Yeah, you can buy. There's a whole group of people all around the world who identify themselves as dogs now, and they put on dog costumes, and they go to the park, and they play with each other as dogs. So this is called Varna Sankara. Obviously, trying to preach to these people is difficult. To tell them that they're not their body is difficult for them to understand because they think they're a dog.
There was this Japanese man who spent like $14,000, or something, just to have the dog costume.
Dog costume, yeah, they're expensive. Most dogs don't have to pay for it. You get born as a dog, then it's free. You get you free. So that's what else? At the time of death, what is he going to think about? He's going to think about, if I can only become a dog, I can save so much money. So Krishna will grant it. As Prabhupada told one lady, a student at the university, went after Prabhupada's lecture, the lady said that, "Swamiji, you say that if I act like a dog, I'm going to become a dog in my next lifetime. But I want you to know, I don't mind if I become a dog. I want to become a dog." So Prabhupada put up his hand and said, you have my blessings. And I'm sure she's barking right now. Therefore, the only hope is the Hare-Rama Sankirtan. Because people are not going to understand this philosophy, nor do they want to understand the philosophy. Of course, we can give them books, and if we chant enough, and if they somehow or another take up the chanting, Krishna will, within their heart, give them the intelligence to understand what's in the book. But right now, they're too covered over to most people to understand this simple philosophy. that the body's changing, but they're not changing. They can't understand. We can't understand it so clearly. What to speak of them? But by the chanting and distribution of prasadam, then it might come to the platform. They might be able to gradually understand what's in these books. And if they understand that in order to realize they're eternal, they have to control their senses, of which sex life is prominent. That you can't just have unrestricted sex life and expect to have a happy life or a happy society, peaceful society. It's not possible. There's no right to kill the children. It's not that the laws of material nature say it's your body. It's not even your body, it's Krishna's body. And you can do with your body whatever you want, including murder and everything. What's that?
It's child's body, not that is my body, my choice, but actually it's child's body, not their body.
Well, they don't know. They don't understand. They think, first of all, they don't think that the animals are alive. They think the animal has no soul. So they don't think that the children in the womb are actually alive either. They don't even know when the child becomes alive. It looks like the heart's beating, and it looks like it's, but that's just, they have no idea what consciousness is or what the soul is, or they just make things up as they go along. Even now, even in some places, even in America, they've passed laws that the child doesn't become alive, even if when it's out of the womb until, some days later. So you can kill it even when it comes out of the womb, because it's still not alive. It looks like it's alive. It's screaming when you kill it, but anyhow, it's just air coming out of it. Because they've lost their intelligence. Therefore, again, the only hope is the chanting of the holy name. Because without that, people will not be able to understand the most simple reality, that the sun's coming up at a certain time, the sun's coming down, setting at a certain time. The whole universe is under supreme control, but they can't see it, although it's pashyana pina pashyati, although it's right before them. And therefore, Varna and Ashram begins with brahmachari life, control the senses, control the mind, creating respect for superiors, for elders. What to speak of respect? They're murdering the older people. They have no respect for anyone. First they killed the cow, their mother, and the bull, their father. Then they started to kill their children. Now it's the old people. In Russia, they rounded up all the people who had glasses after they started to execute people who were defiant of the country, of the government. They had a quota of how many people they were going to send to the concentration camps, the forced labor camps in Russia. So they started to round up all over the Soviet Union people who had glasses. Luckily, he has glasses. They would have taken him first. Mizra has glasses too. Better take them off. Might be dangerous. And they put them in concentration because they thought anyone who has glasses are reading too much, so they must be intellectual. So the intellectuals are dangerous. So they rounded up, took them to concentration camps, and executed them because they had glasses. So that's how degraded things could become. Keep your eyes good. Do some eye exercises. Otherwise, in the future, who knows what's going to happen? Could you imagine the day comes and they say, you're under arrest. What did I do? Your vision doesn't look very good. Here's an eye chart. Read the chart. I'm sorry, you failed. You must be reading too many books. You're a danger to society. Anyhow, it was madness, indolence, and sleep which bind the conditioned soul. So that's coming. It's not like we can allow the society to do what they want and then you're going to elect some savior and everything will be all right. It doesn't work like that. The only hope is the spreading of the Sankirtan movement. Otherwise, we ourselves are part of the society and we'll also have to suffer the consequences as the mode of ignorance develops. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? Pretty heavy class. Okay, please chant Hare Krishna. Grantaraj srimad-bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.